Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love, and this week's question is regarding sex, or should I say, the lack thereof. And the question comes from a woman who says, my boyfriend and I have been together for 5 months and have had a wonderful relationship, but there's one thing that is an issue and I don't know what to do. He says he has no sex drive. He just doesn't care about sex, yet when we've had sex in the past, he's enjoyed it. He talks about how great my body looks, says I turn him on, but will masturbate in the bathroom and not have sex with me. Then he denies masturbating. I know he does, though. It really sends my self-esteem in a nosedive, and I don't know how to handle this. His texts seem different, but he says I mean the world to him. We've both had bad in our past as far as people treating us like crap, to be blunt. I know there's self-esteem issues, but what can I do? Well, believe it or not, sex is actually not the main issue going on here, although you may think it is. The main issue is the fact that he's denying the obvious. He's claiming that there isn't a problem, and obviously there is whenever there's no sex, especially after 5 months. I mean, this should be the time when you should want to be having sex all the time. It's not true. Obviously, he doesn't have a sex drive if he's masturbating in the bathroom. So the main issue is actually the fact that he won't discuss it. So he's either hiding something, maybe it's an erectile issue because he is older than you, or something else. We don't know. But the fact that he either is in denial or is hiding something is not good just in terms of a relationship in general. How can you have a relationship with someone who refuses to talk about an issue? That's what people say when they say, oh, there was no communication in the marriage or in the relationship. That's what communication is, that you're able to talk about anything and everything, and that's what builds intimacy. If you can't communicate, you can't build intimacy, and you can't build a relationship. And what's the point? A relationship without sex is a friendship. And I think you're not just looking for a friendship, so drastic times call for drastic measures, and you can handle it one of two ways, but you need to do something, obviously. So you need to let him know that that you're not comfortable with this. And you say something like, we're not having sex. This bothers me. I don't know the reason for it. You don't want to discuss it, or you say there's no issue, and that's fine. I'm not going to try to force you to discuss something you don't want. However, as I said, I'm not comfortable, and I can't be in a relationship with a man who either won't have sex with me or won't discuss why he won't have sex with me. And so I feel I have no choice but to move on. Or you can say all that and say, but to date other men and to not be exclusive with you. And so you choose which way you want to go. You either break it off completely, or you can continue to see him and start dating other people. And what this will do is it will force him to take action. Because now if he cares about you, he's not going to want to lose you. Because men don't understand words. They understand action. Because they know a lot of times women talk, and they threaten, and they don't follow through. So instead of saying, well, we need to discuss this, or I'm leaving, no, you've already made up your mind. You're not going to force him to discuss it. It doesn't matter. You've already made up your mind. You're gone, or you're going to date other people. And then the ball is in his court. He needs to figure out what he's going to do, whether he's going to come and tell you what is the problem, or whether he's going to take care of the problem and then have you back in his life and carry on as it was in the beginning when you were having sex. So that is my advice for that. Now, for the self-esteem part, that's very important because you said it's taking a toll on your self-esteem. Well, don't let it, because you don't know what the reason is, but you're automatically assuming that it's you. And, everyone does this, especially women. They always assume everything is their fault. And so you go into the self-talk where you say, oh, there's something wrong with me. Oh, I'm terrible. No one will ever want me, blah, blah, blah. And by talking to yourself like this, you affect the quality of your life, because how you speak to yourself is going to then affect how you behave. Two people can go through the same traumatic situation, and what's going to determine how they're going to come out of that traumatic situation is the self-talk. I could do a whole other episode on self-talk. It's so important. So don't assume that it's you. You don't know that. You want to reframe that and say, well, there's an issue here. I'm not going to assume it's me. I'm wonderful. I'm beautiful. I'm sexy, whatever. And I'm not going to jump to conclusions. So don't ever automatically assume you're the problem. You should that should be like the last thing that you would assume, that you're the problem. Like, it has to be almost like an impossibility. Like that's impossible. I can't possibly be the problem. That's how you get high self-esteem. And also you're going to need self-esteem in order to do what I told you, because you need to think enough of yourself to think, you know what, I'm not going to put up with being in a relationship where not only is there no sex, but the person refuses to talk about why there isn't any sex. You're not leaving because there isn't any sex. You're leaving because there's no discussion as to why there isn't any sex, which means that there's no intimacy, there's no communication, so there's no relationship. So actually you're not really leaving anything because there's nothing there. Okay, so I would love to hear back from you, and let me know what happens after you follow through on what I told you to do. And if you'd like any further coaching with that, or anyone else that needs any type of coaching, you can contact me at theartoflove.net. And until next time, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.